Good afternoon, everyone. It's Weather United here on Wednesday, October the 12th, 2022. In today's video, we're keeping an eye on that very cold Arctic air that is about to come southward into the Midwest and the Great Lakes by this weekend into early next week, followed by a big weather pattern change thereafter. Now, before I do get started, if you are new to the YouTube channel and you really like the detailed weather content, please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and sharing this video with your family and friends on social media. To start off this video, here's a look at your water vapor imagery because we want to know what is going on in the atmosphere as far as these low pressures go or where there's big domes of high pressure. So looking at that imagery, we can see there is that low pressure system moving into the northern plains, into the Great Lakes, bringing much cooler temperatures and yes, triggering some thunderstorms down in the deep south, as you can see by the thunderheads, by the water vapor imagery indicating that, because we got some baroclinic deepening along that trophy axis that is moving through the area. And then of course, back west, we have a Rex block pattern. We have low pressure down in Southern California. We have a big old fat ridge of high pressure in the Pacific Northwest. And what this is doing is it's actually curving around the flow. So we got a split flow doing this. We got the flow kind of going around like that. And this pattern has been really dominant over across the California region and the Pacific Northwest, and even for much of the Rockies and towards the west for quite some time. And it looks like the pattern is not changing just yet, but by early next week, we should see things change substantially. So here's a look at that European model for Thursday morning, October the 13th, and we can see exactly with what we're dealing with here. Trough of low pressure, colder air, and yes, even some snow in Hudson Bay, and even for portions there of Manitoba, and even for Quebec, Canada. Yes, snow on the 13th of October. That's mid-October snowfall for you all, but definitely cooler elsewhere, other than the side effect that there is a little bit of shower activity moving across the northeast and also for the mid-Atlantic coast, and including for the southeast, but that's not it. Snow showers wrap around this. And yeah, we could be talking about some snow in mid-October for the northern half of Minnesota. If you are in North Dakota, yep, you're gonna be getting some of that wintry precip for this time of the year. So yeah, it's pretty early because those temperatures are going to be below average. So this whole low pressure system pinwheels, it stalls, it's not moving anywhere anytime soon because we just got a static pattern. We got high pressure over in the Pacific Northwest, we have low pressure over here, and this is not really allowing this area of low pressure near the Hudson Bay to move out anytime soon at least, or at least through the weekend. So that pattern stays around for a while, but it's not until we get into Sunday when things might change as that low pressure moves out. We have another low trying to come in behind it, bringing more snow chances and a renewed area of cooler air. And yeah, there could be some lake effect snow. There could also be some thunderstorms in portions there of Pennsylvania and upstate New York and the deep south as some wicked weather passes on by. And take note of that Arctic high on your screen. That indicates we're going to have some dense cold air moving in out of the north and bringing those overnight lows well down into the 30s. Might even see some upper 20s in some of the coldest locations. Might even get lower than that. So yeah, if you feel like, it's a bit warm today, like portions maybe like the Midwest, kind of warm today and tomorrow, well, pattern's going to change in a very big hurry. Okay, so by the middle of next week, that low moves out, 990 millibars, left with it that cooler Arctic air in its wake, and then the whole pattern really changes on the European model. So by 10 days, we turn more into a zonal flow. We got these height lines right here. Notice how we get ridging that extends further to the east. And so we're going from these Arctic blasts now to a whole different weather pattern where it might be warming up here back in across the Midwest and the eastern half of the seaboard with cooler temperatures expected and maybe some showers and thunderstorms. Now, while it's not explicitly shown on the European model, the GFS and the Canadian models are showing downright stormy weather beyond the 10-day forecast. So it's coming. It's not coming soon enough, where the models are showing it within a 10-day period. So now, temperature anomaly forecasts, this is what I like to look at because it shows us departures from normal. So say if your average temperature is like at 85 degrees and then your daytime high is like 95 degrees, right? That's 10 degrees above normal. But if your average daytime high is say like 70 degrees and your nighttime or your daytime high is like say 55 or 60 degrees, you're going to have well below average temperatures. So that's what this map basically dissects here, showing you where it's warmer than normal, where it's cooler than normal. So Thursday morning, we have cooler than normal temperatures here across the Great Lakes, into the Midwest, into the Ozarks. Not too bad, right, for your morning hours. And then, yes, there's your colder air. Indiana is going to feel it, including for Missouri, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. You're going to have temperatures about 5 to 10 degrees below average, but nope, not back west. We have nothing to do with that cooler air at all, thanks to the big Rex block, big ridge of high pressure kind of sitting on top of a cutoff low in Southern California. That's going to continue over the next 5 days. You can see above average temperatures still for the Pacific Northwest, with cooler air coming in out of the north there in the Great Lakes into the deep south. Also for the Ozarks and the Appalachians, gonna have temperatures 15 to 20 degrees below average. Yeah, definitely a whole big change by the early to the middle of next week, but don't worry, it may not last. By the time we go into 10 days here, whoa, where did our cold Arctic blasts go? Well, I guess it's changing because we turn more zonal, right? We get that westerly flow. A lot of this moisture gets picked up from the Pacific Northwest and also for the west coast of the U.S. And so a lot of that warm air gets advected northward from the jet stream. And so you're going to feel warmer than average, perhaps, in about 10 days. If we look at the 0Z run, it showed something a little bit different, but maybe the trends are going for warmer temperatures in the long range, and or in the medium range through probably about October 21st or the 22nd, but it's good for at least us here in California. We might see some cooler weather finally arriving. It can't come quick enough, though. Air temperature forecast. So here's a look at your Thursday morning, and of course, temperatures are going to be below average. They're going to feel cooler than normal for the northern tier of the United States into Canada. So if you're in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Canada, you're going to have temperatures in the 30s, might even see some upper 20s. And then, of course, further down to the south where you're going to have thunderstorm chances, temperatures are going to be a little warmer, upper 60s to low 70s, okay, for your morning hours. And then gets really warm. Look at this. By Thursday afternoon, cooler air to the north, warmer air to the south. That's going to continue even for the Pacific Northwest. Look at that. Temperatures in the 80s perhaps. It's well above average. I mean, that's considered hot for Washington and Oregon standards. So that's going to continue for a few more days, and then the pattern changes. And look at this. Still really warm by Friday. By Saturday early morning, there's your cold air. If you're in, say, Wisconsin, if you're in Iowa, temperatures in the 30s, maybe some upper 20s at times. Warms up to the lower 50s to the upper 40s. Very warm down to the south, like Oklahoma and Texas, in the 90s. And then the cooler air tries to come back out of the north again. Look at that. Temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. Yeah, you can understand why people will be complaining about this, because this is not normal for your location for mid-October. Yes, you get cold spells, but wow, this one's definitely going to be down in that level of interest. So cooler also back across California, not only during the day, but during the night also, because of that trophy weather that we're going to be dealing with. And by the middle of next week, we're going to be seeing still some chilly temperatures. Look at that. Indiana down in the 30s, down into the 30s, and maybe some upper 20s in portions of in Tennessee, maybe the higher elevations there, and even down there across the deep south, down into the upper 40s to lower 50s. So definitely a big change in the forecast that's coming your way. And the reason why for this is we could blame it on the jet stream, where the jet stream is a belt of fast-moving river of air at 500 millibars, or at about 18,000 feet. So we can see there's your pinwheeling polar vortex that is going to be just kind of circulating around the area, bringing that cooler air from the north repetitively. Some of the embedded disturbances could also amplify some instability over the area. There's your trough that's going to be reconnected with the overall polar jet that's going to be coming out of the north, and that thing kind of moves out slowly with another perturbation of energy right in here over the Great Lakes and the northern plains, and that's going to renew your chances of very cold Arctic temperatures as that trough really drops. And man, that is quite the strength there, with mid-level wind profiles nearing 100 knots. So there's going to be some strong winds, I'm sure, with that. Cooler temperatures, thunderstorms, maybe some snow for the Great Lakes, and then by the end of the forecast, the whole pattern changes. We get the zonal flow that comes in over the United States, and you can see this westerly flow bringing this warmer air northward, as we said in those temperature anomalies towards the beginning of the video. But you know what I should have done at the beginning of my video? I should have asked you all to please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that like button, and share this video with their family and friends, as it does help out a lot. You guys are really awesome, and I got to say thank you all for the support. It really means a lot, and also it means a lot to you all because I'm here every day keeping you all on your feet and on your toes, up to date with the weather, with live streams, winter weather, severe weather, hurricanes, and much more for you all. So if you guys did like today's content, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing, and also check out our Weather United Discord server. And if you want to become a member today of the YouTube channel, there is a join button below this video. But until next time, I'll be back with you more tomorrow with another update on the weather.